Hey ladies, welcome back. This is your host Nava. Come on in and hit that subscribe button, and I'm not going to yap away too much. We're going to jump right into this topic. It is a topic that we've all been talking about all 2024, and it probably started in 2023. We are going to keep talking about it. Married single mothers. We're going to keep talking about it because women are going to keep getting into these relationships and marriages, and they're going to experience this a lot because they don't want to listen to those of us who are already clocking it and already know about it. So a married single mother is a woman who is married and she's doing all the same exact stuff that she would do if she was single, if without a husband, because her husband is just in the house and doing literally nothing but paying bills, if that. Some of them are not even doing that. So that's what that is. And it is very prevalent. And the reason we need to keep talking about it is because, like I said, there are many, many girls that are going to set themselves up to be married single mothers because they don't want to be actual just single mothers, but they don't have to live and learn. They can actually just learn if they just listen. So let's get into these videos, and I will be back with my commentary throughout the video.
So this is for people who are with a person, or should I say you thought you married your person, but now you're stuck. So you thought you were marrying your person, but now you're stuck. You're so stuck and you don't know how to get out of it. I hear this all too often. So many people marry someone they thought was their person, and now they're in a marriage by themselves. Slow enough for a second. Some of y'all know what I'm talking about. You in a marriage by yourself because you're functioning as a single parent in a marriage. Because your significant other has allowed themselves to do whatever they want. I shouldn't even say the significant other, because sometimes wives, husbands, whoever is the one who feels like they married the wrong person. It could be both of y'all think y'all married the wrong person, to be honest. Let's keep it a buck. But I see a lot of people functioning as single parents in relationships, and they don't know how to get out of it. They don't know how to get out of it because they have already set the standard that this is okay. It's okay for me to be functioning as a single parent in a relationship. It's okay for my significant other to be out there functioning as a single person. So if you guys do not begin to have standards, or don't go into a relationship with standards, and your partner sees that, then they're going to run all over you. They're going to continue to run all over you, because really, what have been the repercussions of me being out there doing my thing while you sitting at the house with the kids, picking them up, making dinner while I'm out there doing my thing? What are really the repercussions? Probably none. So they just continue to do whatever they want, because the reality is you let them do whatever they want. You have to have standards. You have to let them know what you will and won't accept. Because if you don't, they're going to continue to do what they want to do. So you thought you were marrying your person, but who you really married was who you really didn't want. And now you're stuck. You have to get unstuck. And that means sometimes making sacrifice to get ourselves out of these situations. You don't have to be married to nobody forever. You don't have to be in a relationship with nobody forever. Will it be hard to walk away? Yes. Are you going to have to make changes to your lifestyle? Yes. Are your kids going to have to make some sacrifice and do without some things? Yes. But at the end, is it going to be the result of you being happier? Yes. So which one are you going to choose? Are you going to continue to function in your marriage as a single person? Are you going to do what it do, make some sacrifice for the next maybe year or two, and walk away? Those really are your options, because this person has been set up to believe they can do whatever they want because you allow them to. Change.
So I agree on what she's saying about you have to have standards and letting them know what you will and what you won't accept. But The thing is that most men don't listen to women and they don't care about what you're saying. They literally only take in so much of what you're saying and then their brains cut off. So the only time they realize that you're not playing with them is when you leave. Other than that, they're not going to listen. They're going to see that you're staying with them. You're continuing to do all the things that you think you're supposed to do as a wife, while he's continuing to do what he normally does outside of what you're doing, and they see that you're not going anywhere. So they don't take women seriously until women actually just leave. Like, your words will mean nothing. You can try to keep talking to them if you want to, but I'm trying to help y'all in 2025 to just protect your peace. My thing, I would tell y'all to just stop telling him. If you've already been telling him over and over again and he's not listening, like I always say, start making your plan, start saving your money, and get ready to go, because he's not going to stop.
To me, it just doesn't make sense how many of us married women are single married women and just are completely unsupported by the men who claim to call themselves our husbands. I can't even ask for money for groceries. I have to pay all of my own bills. I just don't understand why. What is the purpose of me being married? I don't understand. And I'm so tired of having to ask people for money. It's not fair. It's not fair.
You know what? I see a lot of y'all get on here and talk about how y'all love and y'all not having no baby until y'all get married. Y'all not gonna have no baby by no man until you put a ring on your finger. All this, right? But let me hip y'all the game. Just because you get married does not mean you cannot become a single mom in the marriage and when the marriage ends. It's a lot of y'all get on here and swear y'all bashing single moms, but y'all not. Y'all have these false hopes of when you get married that it cannot be, hold on, I'm trying to, that you cannot end up a single mom. Enough of us divorcees do not come on here and tell y'all what it really is. Let's talk about how when you divorce a man, when you, the woman, divorce a man, that sometimes the man don't want to be bothered with you or them kids. Or say you feel like, okay, I don't want to be with this man no more. It's over. But I don't want to go through the system. You got to chase him down and take care of his kids. Okay? Let's talk about that. Or let's talk about how you're in the home with the man and you're married and the man feel like he ain't got to take care of them kids. How about that? Y'all always, I see a lot of y'all talking about, I ain't gonna have no baby out of wedlock. I ain't gonna be no single mom. It's a lot of single moms that was married, baby. There's a lot of single moms that would stay at homes too. Stay at home moms when they were married and became single moms because the man started acting brand new because they either got independent or they left their ass. Where's the divorcees at? Because we need to start schooling these young girls or these women that think that a ring magically make men stay and act differently. Because if a man don't want to act differently or act a certain way, they're not. Where are y'all at? Because for some reason, y'all got in y'all fucking head that when you get married, that things just change. It doesn't happen that way, baby. And I'm not saying for my life because I don't have any kids by my husband right now. But it's a lot of people out here that became single moms because they left their husbands and their husband don't want to have nothing to do with them or them goddamn kids. They got them a new woman and moved the fuck on and said fuck them and them kids. A lot of y'all don't realize that a lot of these women wasn't single because they went out here and had sex with a man or had a one-night stand or was in a relationship with a man and was never married. A lot of these women were married, stay-at-home wives, and everything else. And these men decide to act a fool when they decide to leave their ass there. Mm-hmm. Y'all not ready for that conversation.
Because I was married with my kid's father. I was with him for 13 years. We were married for 7 years of those 13 years. During the entire marriage, when I was into church, I would go to church by myself with the kids. Like, he never went to church with me. My family took family trips to Disney World every year. He never came. It was just me and the kids. Thanksgiving, Christmas, whenever we would go visit the families, it was me and the kids, just by myself. I was doing so much with the kids, doctor's appointments, everything, by myself.
The perfect time to be single and free. Single and free. Single and free. Life's better every day with Tierica.
Have you ever felt lonely and alone, but married? Yeah, that's a different type of feeling. So, word of advice to all the ladies who desire to be married. It's a different type of feeling when you're alone and lonely, but you're married. So make sure that you marry a man who wants to be a husband.
I had to pause right here, y'all, because 9 times out of 10, men do not want to be husbands. They don't. That's just the truth. Men get married because they feel like that's what they have to do, and because women most of the time pressure them into marriage after a certain amount of time. But most men do not want to get married. We know this because we've been listening to them talking to each other online for the last 5 years at least, and they will tell you that most men don't want to be married. They only get married when they feel like they're going to lose you, and they want to keep you in their lives because they're benefiting from you in some kind of way, some capacity. And they're used to you. They might like you a lot and they don't want to see you with another man. So sometimes they'll just marry you. But I just want women in 2025 to realize that we are the ones that are pushing these men to get married. And then we wonder why most of them are cheating inside the relationship, because they didn't want to get married. They wanted to keep having sex with different people, and you forced them to marry you. And that's why we're seeing all these long engagements and women making excuses for it, like it was their choice to be engaged for 12 years. No, I don't believe it. I'm actually about to make a video on long engagements. It's a lot of women that get defensive and they swear up and down it was their ideal to stay engaged for 12 years or more. It's not. They know these men don't want to marry them. They're just willing to wait it out. And we need to stop doing that.
And not the man who just wants a wife.
Being a married single mom is one of my worst fears too. So I found 12 signs that you might be a married single mom. Sometimes you can be just as lonely when you sit next to someone who's supposed to love you. Number 1, the majority of childcare and housework is done by you, and you don't get a break. Number 2, actually, you're in charge of the childcare, housework, and income. Number 3, you resent your husband, mainly because he's sleeping on the weekends and going out for days at a time, and you don't get to do the same thing. Number 4, you stopped expecting him to make time for date night or even dinner. This is a sign that you have subconsciously just given up hope on him actually being there for you. When something breaks in a household, you're the one who will actually take care of it. You're so used to it that you no longer even bother telling him about it. You guys, that is so sad. That makes me want to cry. 6, you feel like you have an extra child. Technically, you probably do. It's called a man-child, and you married one. He's away for the majority of the week, whether you like it or not. You might be away for work, but there's a certain point where your relationship will suffer as a result of his absence. Number 8, if your husband was unalive tomorrow, not much would change about your house routine. Woo! Woo! Ladies, I'm so sorry. If y'all feel this one, I feel for you. That is, I don't know why this took me back, but It means he's basically useless at this point. Number 9, you could probably have an affair and he would not notice. If you don't think he would notice if you were sneaking around, it's a sign that you are no longer married on an emotional level. Number 10, you feel like you got a bait and switch deal. You know that marriage is supposed to be a partnership, but you don't feel anything like a real partner. I'm so sorry, ladies. You stopped asking your husband to help you with anything because all he'll do is call you a nag or just delay doing it until you do it yourself. Number 12, even though you're married, you feel very alone in your relationship. Do you feel like everything is one-sided? Do you feel isolated? Most of your pleas for help, affection, and attention falling on deaf ears? If so, you're living single life while still being married. You may need to fix that. I know for some of y'all watching this might be a harsh reality hit for you. And unfortunately, if it is the case, I'm glad I'm the one that brought it to your attention, okay? I would never want a fellow woman out there to feel like that. All those things on that list is you're supposed to have a partner, not a man child. And I'm hoping that if this video helps somebody today realize what the situation they're in, and hopefully they can maybe have a conversation with their husband and fix it. But if not, there are other things that you can do. I'm not going to suggest those because, hello, I'm not qualified, but you can do your own search.
So I have a new pet peeve, and that is the whole concept of a married single mom. So I used to be one, but now after the past 2 years, I've been a single mom. I'm just like fully realizing like how messed up this whole concept is. And part of this was triggered by me watching all those TikTok videos of like, oh, a day with mom and a day with dad. And the day with mom is like the whole house is spotless. She's like sweeping and vacuuming with like the baby on a hip, and she's got like something on the stove, and she's like on the phone trying to plan a doctor's appointment. And then you see the day with dad, and it's like the house looks a total mess. They're like sitting on the couch with like soiled shirts and like eating, I don't know, Cheeto Puffs or whatever, watching whatever. And then also me just like being out at activities with my kids, you know, taking my daughter to gymnastics or dance class or whatever, and seeing the moms in there that are married, you know, the married single moms, where it's like they look broke down and tired and like they haven't showered in several days and they're in, you know, freaking sweats or whatever. And they're like, oh yeah, you know, my husband, he says that they'll pick them up today so I can try to like make it to the grocery store. Like, why do you have a partner and you're stressed out? And this is not me knocking the moms in any way, shape, or form. Let's be clear about that. But it's just like nothing angers me more than seeing a mom like broke down and haggard, and then knowing that she has like a man, like a boyfriend, a husband or whatever, to that child, and he's just sitting around doing whatever. Like, if you don't get your butt off the couch and grab that baby so that she can finish the meal, if you don't get up and learn to fold some laundry, like from the bottom of my heart, I want to apologize to all the married single moms out there who you're like struggling and busting your butt and you're haggard and you're tired and you're just like, dang, I feel broke down and I feel like my partner's not contributing. Like, I want to apologize from the bottom of my heart because that is so hard. Like, me being a single mom, it's already hard enough as it is, but then for you to be doing that, knowing that you have a partner that's there, that's living with you, that's married to you or whatever, and you look like that, like there should be no way that that should ever happen. Like, this is not a 1950s sitcom where, you know, you see the dad struggling to take care of the kid, and it's like, it's funny because technically the dad's worked 40 to 80 hours a week and the mom was the only one at the house taking care of everything else. So him not knowing how to take care of the kids and it being a laughable moment makes sense. Today, that is not the case at all, and so it should never have to be that. Like, why are we laughing at that? It's not cute. It's not funny anymore. Like, if you're a grown man, you should know how to cook. If you're a grown man, you should know how to clean. You should know how to do all these different things that she has to do. Like, I'm so tired of seeing moms look tired and neglected and stressed out and feel like they're pretty much a single mom having to do it all. Like, you're not a single mom. You didn't ask for this, so they need to step up to the plate.
So ladies, we've all seen these videos up and down TikTok, which, like I said, I believe this is why they are wanting to get, one of the reasons why they're wanting to get rid of TikTok, because women are starting to connect more and talk more about these issues, and they don't want women to wake up and see that this is not right. And this is another reason why I rock hard with Princella, because I feel like this is just their nature. Like, I don't think that it is in them to clean and look after the kids. Yes, some of them do, but for the most part, women who are filing for divorces, over 70% of women are saying that it is because they have talked to their husbands over and over and over again about this kind of stuff, and they didn't help. So the women just had to leave. Instead of trying to force their husbands anymore to do something that they obviously are not going to do, the women just decided to leave because this wore them down. This stressed them out so much. They gained weight. They got sick because they had too much on their plate. And this is a big reason why I feel like women are actually supposed to be in community with each other. Keeping the house clean with other women would be no problem. Like most women, I'm not gonna say all women are clean and tidy, but for the most part, women cannot just live in filth like males can. Like we just can't. So if y'all want to spend all of 2025 yelling at men to help you with your kids, you can. But we're letting you know now, this is going to be you. If you don't start listening to these videos and sharing these videos with other women, it's never going to end. It has to stop with us somewhere. You have to know that your talking is doing nothing. Ask the women who are getting divorced, why did you divorce? I bet you this is one of the reasons that they got divorced.
Looks like the single married wife is picking up a lot of steam, so let me give some more detail to it. The reason why you don't want to be in a single married wife. Number one, lack of emotional connection. There's no connection there. There's nothing going on between y'all. You're like two ships in the night, and you're roommates, and there's nothing there. And matter of fact, ma'am, he got you as a trophy. That's all that he is. He doesn't want to have someone else have you. So what he'll say that no one else can have you but him. Unequal responsibilities. You are responsible for the kids, no matter what. In and out. And he's just making the money. Now, a lot of times guys say, well, because I'm making the money, I don't have to do anything around the house. No. Sir, you are supposed to be responsible during and after. Omega, alpha, and omega. And when you are being unequal and have equal responsibilities around the house, that's going to cause more issues in the house. No partnership in decision making. And then someone says, I didn't know, or you didn't tell me. Well, because you wasn't there. Because you made me a single married wife. So I have to make these decisions alone. There's no collaboration. There's no time of growth in your relationship. There's nothing growing. The kids are growing. Your bitterness is growing. Your anger is growing. But you and your spouse are not growing together. Impact on self-worth. It's like, how come you don't want to spend time with me? Something wrong with me? I've raised his kids. I've done this. I've done that. I got his back. I put him through school. All these powerful things. He don't want to spend time with me? Message you up. Ain't no intimacy. No. There ain't no blessing in the bedroom. No, and we got to definitely work on that. It will lead to increased stress as well. Because, again, you're not fighting the battle together. You're fighting the battle against each other versus with each other. It's a poor role model for your kids as well. You're not showing them what a family structure looks like and should be like. And most importantly, there's no joy. And anything that's not no joy, after a while, somebody is going to step out. And you don't want to do that. So listen, if you are a single married wife, it's time for you to make a switch, make a change, and not stay in that place because God didn't create you for that. I'll tell you that right now.
The worst marriage killer is when the wife becomes a motherly figure to the husband. The husband stops doing their role as the man of the house, the provider, and puts the woman in the position of having to do everything for him, like packing his lunch every day, making sure his clothes are clean and tidy, and the house is clean, that the kids are taken care of. And most of the time the wife goes to work too. Now he picks up that the only responsibility that he has is going to work. He knows that everything will be done for him, just like when he was a 7-year-old little boy. He comes home and his wife is in a messy bun, all tired, sweaty from working in the house all day and cooking and cleaning, while he's at work surrounded by beautiful women that are not in that motherly figure. They're women. And that's where his brain starts seeing things differently. Yes, he loves his wife, but it becomes more of a, I love you for what you can do for me. You make his life easy. and you start feeling overstimulated because you feel that you are being a better wife by doing all these things. Like, I do everything for him, I make his life easier. While you think you're doing a good thing, you're actually doing the exact opposite. And eventually the resentment you're gonna feel for your husband is just not gonna be good. Just stop being his mother.
So how are you all doing today, guys? So like I said, married and still single, please don't get me wrong, I'm not a relationship expert. I'm only saying things just the way it is. I don't want to say out of experience this time around so that you guys will say, oh, she experienced everything. But at the end of the day, let me tell you something. It's a bitter truth, okay? It's just the bitter truth, all right? If you're in this category, my sister, you are single. Don't come and start claiming married, my husband and all that. You are single, fully single. You just stay under my roof, you understand? So let me tell you something. If you're this type of woman that you're married, and you and your husband cannot get together to talk about things, to discuss about the future of, or maybe your kids or yourselves and things like that. If you're this type that if this man wants to make a decision, you're not even inclusive. If you want to make a plan of something, you don't know about it. All you know is that you just see the thing being done. If you want to execute anything at all, even if it's a project that he wants to set out there, he can't even tell you about it, or maybe just have a kind of discussion, heart-to-heart discussion with him concerning this project, and all of a sudden you heard, oh, your husband is doing something like that and all that. My dear, you be single lady. You just the man house, the answer wife for mouth. And then all you do, let's just say that all you do with this man is only when he comes back from home, from work or wherever he's coming back from, and then he will need some kind of massage or any kind of bedmatics and all that. You're very good at that. That's all you do. If you look at yourself, you ask yourself, but I've never done anything, contributing to this man's life, or maybe kind of give him advice to do something or anything like that. Until you be full single woman. It's not even housewife. You're a single person just living. So better bear it in mind. You're totally single. If he's not discussing it with you, he's definitely discussing it with somebody else. I'm not saying it must be a woman that he's discussing with. Some men, they actually find it's more okay, comfortable discussing with their friends, male friends and all that. But auntie, last, he still have a woman that advises him. I'm not saying your husband is cheating. It can be just a female friend that maybe he takes advice from or things like that. That's what I'm saying. But as long as you are not contributing in that house, you are single. I don't know. I'm not telling you to leave your husband's house. You cannot leave your husband's house for nothing. But you need to sit the man down and kind of discuss some certain things with him. Not talk say, because I know they marriage. I know they marriage no means say I know get sense. Those are the things you need to understand. If you're in a man's house and this man does not see you as part of him, you don't discuss, you don't talk about the future, you don't even talk about things that are happening in the house. Or more, auntie, you are single. That is it. Let me talk. Yeah.
Here are 5 signs that you're a single married mom. 1, if he died tomorrow or you got divorced, nothing's going to change. 2, you could have an affair and he would never know. 3, you do the majority, if not all, of the childcare and housework and you don't get a break. 4, you resent your husband, and I mean resent them for everything. For sitting on the couch while you're doing the laundry, or playing on their phone while you're making lunches and doing bath time. You are the one that's holding down the fort, and you don't get any thanks. And 5, your spouse says to you, hey, just tell me what you want me to do and I'll do it. But then you have to think about all the stuff you want him to do, and it adds to your mental load.
She is a single wife. Yeah, you heard that correctly. In every aspect of your marriage, she feels all by herself. Like I said, she's a single wife. She wants someone to have fun with, to spend a weekend away, doing something completely different. She wants someone who comes home at the end of the day and is present with her. Someone who doesn't ignore her for the rest of the night. She wants someone who's excited to see her every time she walks through that door. She doesn't want a roommate. She wants a husband to share life with her. Yeah. She may have a ring on her finger and legally she may be married to you. But I'm telling you, she's a single wife.
Y'all always
think y'all eating when y'all say comments like this, but it never gave full play. You never ate, still starving. Marriage does not solidify anything. Marriage only solidifies the fact that a foundation was thought of. That is it. It's supposed to solidify a partnership. That is it. I know too many women who are married that are single mothers. I know too many women who are married and they're doing the bulk of everything themselves. I know too many women who work full-time jobs, work a 40-hour week, who have to come home, cook, clean, take care of the kids, do after-school activities, help children with homework, and still at the end of the night please their man. And yet here we are, I'm a single mother and a married woman, and we're basically living the same lifestyle. I'm still waiting for you to eat. Next caller.
Being married to a narcissist, you're gonna feel like a single married mom. I was a single married mom, and I did not know that that was a thing, but I would always call myself that. I would tell him, I feel like I'm a single married mom. But I didn't know that other people have felt that way until recently. He would gaslight me and tell me it's all in your head. You're supposed to do these things. You're supposed to take care of the kids. You're supposed to change their pamper. You're supposed to take them here and there. You're supposed to make their appointments. You're supposed to do the homework with them. You're the mom. And I'll be like, well, what the fuck are you supposed to do then? Basically listing off all the single mom duties. And what do I need you for? What do you come in? And that's where they think financial. Well, I'm the provider. All right, if I become the provider, then what? What am I going to need you then for?
And that is all I have, ladies. She's right. Nowadays women are making money on their own, and this is why a lot of these men in the government, they want women back in the kitchen. They don't want women to go to school or to get paid the same thing as men, because when women make money, we really have no need to have a male in our home, because as we see, they don't bring anything else. So that's why they always try to use their money to keep you there. They use money to oppress you by saying they want you to stay at home, be a stay-at-home mother, and that way they can manipulate you and oppress you with money. They abuse you with money because that's the only power they have over you. So this coming up year 2025, you're going to see men in the government come up with many ways to keep women down so that they will have to depend on men for survival. So we're going to keep talking about how women need to come together and help each other, because this is more dangerous than what a lot of women think it is. If we have these men in the government that are making laws and rules with our bodies and just with our autonomy to just keep us with them because they need us. Studies show that they get inflammation when they aren't with women or married to a woman. They have to be around a woman because they latch onto us so much and we do so much for them that it's just become part of who they are, is just to have a woman to cipher her energy, her resources, her time, her love. They just want to suck all of that out of you and just bring money to the table. They don't want to help do anything. And money is made up. It's a made up resource that they make us depend on in order to survive. Like if women were together, if we were able to grow our own food, a lot of women can make their own clothes. We can do everything on our own, and they know that, but they still want us to depend on them because they depend on us. That's why you keep hearing men say, no, we need each other. We need each other. And women that don't know any better say that too. They just don't know. They don't know that they need women, and men have put them against other women. So they will need men more. But women have all of the resources we need right here on planet Earth to survive. But men are kind of getting in our way of being able to do things on our own. And we're seeing that more and more. And that's why Y'all need to share these videos before they cut off freedom of speech for women, like they're doing in Afghanistan. Those women were getting educated. They were probably learning we don't need men, we need each other. So they stopped them from going to school. They stopped them from speaking in public, from showing their faces in public. In Russia, they're stopping women from getting online to speak about being child-free. They're fining them. In China, in all different places around the world, they're trying to force women to have kids and trying to give them certain benefits to be with men and have more kids for the system, for these wars that they're fighting. You need to have more kids to put in the military, just all kind of things. And we're going to talk about it as long as we can. So please share these videos. Thank you if you made it this far, and let's go, ladies. We have a lot of work to do, and I encourage y'all to start your own channels this year. We're early in January 2025. Think about starting your channels so that this gospel can spread faster. I will talk to you ladies later. Bye.